The diplomatic quarters aboard the Constellation's Edge were designed for comfort, but Juno Hale had never expected her pillow to become a matter of intergalactic incident. It started 3 cycles ago when the Krithan delegation arrived. The Krithans were apex predators from a world where survival meant dominance, where showing weakness invited death. Their scales gleamed like obsidian knives, their eyes tracked movement with unnerving precision, and their claws could shred reinforced steel. The Galactic Council had spent decades convincing them that cooperation was more profitable than conquest. Ambassador Thelvar brought his family, including Varric, a cub barely past his first molting. The young Krithan stood 4 feet tall, all lean muscle and barely contained violence. His kind didn't have childhood as humans understood it. They had survival training. Juno, as the human xenocultural liaison, had smiled and welcomed them warmly. She'd offered them tours, explained human customs, and tried to bridge the gap between species who evolved to fear the dark and species who were the dark. Then Varric stole her pillow. She'd left it on the observation deck after a late-night reading session. It was her favorite memory foam wrapped in soft cotton, broken in over years of use. When she returned, the pillow was gone, and a trail of faint claw marks led toward the Krithan quarters. Juno found Varric curled around it in a corner of the diplomatic suite, his body wrapped protectively around what he now called the soft cloud. His eyes snapped open when she approached, pupils dilating to predatory slits. "Hey there," she said softly. "That's actually mine." The growl started low in his chest, a sound that vibrated through the deck plating. Every instinct screamed at her to back away. The Krithans had evolved from pack hunters who killed prey 3 times their size. Even a cub was dangerous, but Juno had spent 5 years studying xenobiology. She knew that Krithan aggression was often defensive, rooted in resource scarcity on their harsh homeworld. She also knew something else. Young Krithans had never experienced softness. "Okay," she said, backing away slowly. "You can keep it for now." Ambassador Thelvar was horrified when she informed him. "This is unacceptable behavior. Varric will return your property and submit to discipline." "No," Juno said firmly. "Let him keep it. I have others." The ambassador's scales rippled with confusion. "You would allow this theft? This disrespect?" "It's not theft," Juno replied. "He's just discovered something new." Over the next cycle, something strange happened. Other crew members reported seeing Varric with the soft cloud, dragging it through corridors, sleeping with it clutched against his chest. When Engineer Marks reached for it, thinking it was misplaced cargo, Varric's snarl sent him stumbling backward into a wall. When Dr. Yashiro tried to explain that pillows weren't meant for Krithans, Varric bared fangs that could pierce combat armor and let out a hiss that made the doctor's medical scanner shake in her hands. "The soft cloud stays," the cub growled in broken standard, his first words in human language. The situation escalated when Ambassador Thelvar attempted to forcibly retrieve the pillow. The resulting confrontation drew half the ship's security. Varric had backed into a corner, the soft cloud behind him, every line of his body screaming lethal intent. "Stand down, offspring," Thelvar commanded in the Krithan tongue. "You shame our people with this attachment." But Varric didn't move, his claws extended fully, scoring marks in the deck. "Mine." Juno pushed through the gathered crowd. "Everyone out. Now." "Miss Hale, this creature is dangerous," Security Chief Okonkwo began. "Out." Her voice carried the kind of authority that came from negotiating with species who ate their business partners for showing weakness. When the room cleared, Juno sat down on the floor, a safe distance from the trembling cub. She could see it now, he wasn't being aggressive. He was terrified. "You've never had anything soft before, have you?" she asked quietly. Varric's growl faltered, his translator collar crackled. "Home is stone. Sharp edges. Cold sleep rocks. Nothing. Soft." Juno's heart ached. The Krithans raised their young, in deliberately harsh conditions, believing it made them strong. They'd evolved on a planet where comfort meant weakness, where softness meant death. "On my world," she said, "we believe strength comes from knowing when to rest." The soft cloud, my pillow. It helps us sleep, helps us heal, helps us dream. Dream? Varric's head tilted, confusion overriding fear. Imagine things that aren't real. Good things. Safe things. The cub's claws retracted slightly. Chrythons don't dream. We fight sleep enemies. Test our readiness. That sounds exhausting. For the first time, Varric's posture softened. Yes. Juno slowly reached into her bag and pulled out another pillow, newer, less worn. What if I told you that you could have the soft cloud? But you have to stop threatening people who come near it. Varric's eyes narrowed with suspicion. Trick? No trick, but also, she held up the second pillow. Your father needs one too. Chrythons might not know about pillows, but maybe it's time you learned. The cub stared at the new pillow, then at Juno. Something shifted in his expression, the first crack in generations of cultural conditioning. Why? He asked. Why give me soft things? Juno smiled. Because humans learned a long time ago that being strong doesn't mean being hard all the time. It means knowing when to rest, so you can face the next challenge. And because, she paused, everyone deserves to feel safe enough to dream. Varric slowly released his death grip on the soft cloud. He reached out tentatively, touched the new pillow with one claw. His translator carried a sound that might have been wonder. By the next cycle, Ambassador Thelvar sat in Juno's office, holding a pillow awkwardly in his massive arms. My son has not had a single nightmare since acquiring the soft cloud, he admitted. He sleeps deeply, peacefully. This is unprecedented. Good, Juno said. Maybe softness isn't weakness after all. The ambassador's scales rippled the Chrython equivalent of a thoughtful expression. The council has long wondered what makes humanity so resilient. You are physically weak, yet you thrive. Perhaps. He looked down at the pillow. Perhaps we have mistaken the source of strength. 3 months later, the Chrython homeworld placed its first order for human-manufactured pillows. The Galactic Council called it the most significant cultural exchange in centuries. Juno called it common sense. And somewhere in the diplomatic quarters, Varric slept peacefully. The soft cloud clutched against his chest, dreaming for the first time in his young life.